The belt system in the martial arts is a short and long-term goal system. Hi, this is Dave Hughes of Ernie Reyes Martial Arts in Gallatin. Welcome to my Life Coach Your Child series. We've been talking about goal setting, and today we're going to do part one of teaching how the belt system used in many martial arts systems or styles is actually a system of short and long-term goals to help the students make progress. Now, the belt system was developed in the 1800s by the founder of judo and was later adopted by other jiu-jitsu systems and later Okinawan karate systems, then the Korean systems like Taekwondo, Hapkido, Tang Soo Do, and was also embraced by some European and North and South American systems like Brazilian and Russian martial arts and Israeli Krav Maga, and has most recently been incorporated into most Chinese martial arts, even though the Chinese and the Japanese don't always get along. But everybody's recognized the value of it, so it's used quite a bit. Now, in the original system, there were 10 levels of underbelts, white belt through brown or red, depending on the system, and it's an ascending order, 10th being the lowest, first being the highest. And then there is also a lifelong progression in the black belt levels, going from first degree black belt being the lowest to 9th or 10th, depending on the system, usually 10th, as the highest. Now, what does that have to do with teaching goals to your children? Well, when I'm teaching students, I first start them coming into my martial arts school. And you can use this not just for martial arts, but for anything that you're wanting to get across to your child. What we do is we look at, when they first come in, I have them do an orientation class, and I'm evaluating them. I'm letting them see the value, them and their parents, if it's a child, see the value of the training, but also I'm seeing where the child's at. I'm looking at their concentration, their self-control, their respect. I'm looking at how good their focus is. I'm looking at their coordination, their flexibility. I'm looking at just getting an overall gist of where this child is. And, by the way, I do the same thing with adults, though, even though I call them kids with jobs. But since this is a program for children, that's what I'm focusing on. I look where they're at, and I do pretty much an evaluation to get at least a glimpse of where they're at. And I explain to them what the belt system is. I ask them, are you wearing a belt right now? And they say, no, sir. And I say, now some instructors just hand you your white belt to hold your funny pajamas together. But to me, it only means something if it's something that you earn. By far, the easiest belt to earn is the white belt, and all it really means is you're ready to enter class with the kids your age, but I'm going to give them some homework based on their efforts. Are they able to achieve that? And this is a way of reinforcing things at home. For example, with my martial arts students, for the younger children, I'll have the parents be their coaches and help them practice that. But what they're learning is to make good eye contact and to practice that with their parents at home. To say yes, sir, and no, sir, and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. So they're not just having it go in one ear and out the other, but they're actually thinking about what their parents are saying. And showing respect as well, but the main thing is that they have that connection, they're actually paying attention, they're not truly listening. The third thing is to practice the techniques that we worked on. It's pretty simple, but something where they've actually put some effort into it. And to use their good timing, doing things when they're told. One of the main rules I have for my students is they do things not just in the martial arts school, but at home and at school. Do it the first time they're asked, say yes ma'am or yes sir, and do it right then. And if they do a good job on that and their parents report that back to me, they're able to earn their white belt. Now, I tell them, you've been trying us out, but we're trying you out too. Right now, I've been looking at your levels of concentration, self-control, respect, plus your basic motor skills, balance, coordination, flexibility, etc., which they've already went through in the orientation class, so they already understand as I've explained it to them. Now, when their levels of all those things, their concentration, self-control, respect, and their physical skills, when all those are twice as good as when they first earned their white belt, they're ready to make an improvement over that to the next level. In our system, will be of those 10 levels, from level 10 to level 9. We actually put an orange belt there, but regardless of what tutti frutti color on the rainbow you have for your belts, what really counts is the improvement the students are making. For an instructor, it's doing two things. Number one, it's giving you a class structure for your curriculum. Number two, is giving your students a short and long-term goal progression. Now, I tell them it's not Everybody has some things that come a little easier for them, some things that are a little bit more challenging. Well, on the easy things, you don't get to be lazy and just coast on. And on the harder things, even though it's difficult for you in the beginning, as long as you're improving, you're not being held back. And I'll ask the kids, is that fair? And almost always they'll say, yes, sir. Because if you explain to kids in those terms of something fair or not fair, they really appreciate that. Now, twice as good as level 9 is level 8, twice as good as S7, twice as good as S6, twice as good as 5. I point out to him, even something was a little bit more challenging or harder for you in the beginning, if you got twice as good as twice as good as twice as good as twice as good as twice as good, even that hard stuff you'd be pretty darn good at, wouldn't you? Then I'll explain to them how they can make that better and better and better to reaching those high levels and eventually the black belt. But anytime you set structured goals like that, it's really going to help your child.